Hmm. Hello. Can anyone hear me? Because this is kind of doing something funny. Hmm. Ay, ay, ay. Hmm. Okay. All right. That's good. All right. Okay. Cool. We're on. Okay. Then I'm just going to get started then because, okay. Perfect. Got the cat here. I am all ready to go. Um, Hi everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name is Maddie, and I'm a certified health coach, and I work mainly with women to help overcome their PCOS diagnosis and just help them lead a happy and healthy life. Um, so, Jonathan just messaged me last week, and he asked, as a health coach, are there any things that I think would be valuable to share in regard to everything that's going on right now? So I sat and I had to think about it. And I don't know about you guys, but my social media has been fired up lately with all these lists, and these lists are awesome. Um, Sorry, cats moving around here. These lists are awesome, but there are things like how to be productive during coronavirus, how to stay healthy, how to work from home. All these things are super important, but because they're being talked about already, I didn't think that there was any point in me speaking to it. So when I work with my clients, many people start out with thinking that all I'm going to do is give them a diet and encourage them to work out, and that's it. But what I've actually learned over time is that health is just so much more than what we put in our mouths and how we move our bodies. That's just a piece of the puzzle. So there's things like relationships and finances, career, home cooking, spirituality, creativity. That's just to name a few, but they all work together to form the human that is you. And they all play a massive role in your health. So when I thought on these aspects, I thought what I'd do with hi Denise. I thought that I would what it, I thought to what I would do with my clients, and that would be to look at the areas that are unbalanced, and I'd work to make little action steps towards being happier in those areas of life. So right now, times are uncertain, and no one experiences things the same way. So I just want to start off by saying that this isn't a one size fits all approach. And if you don't connect with any of the things that I say here today, I challenge you to look into where it is that you do need more balance in your life and just make action steps to move towards being more balanced in those areas. So, in the end, my answer to Jonathan, after considering all this, was joy. Almost everyone is unbearably stressed and scared right now, but we do have a choice to choose our state of being. And I'd love for you to choose joy, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. So, I want to start out by talking about what can be the thief of our joy right now. So, Teddy Roosevelt, come here, Baba. He said that comparison is a thief of joy. And I do actually think that's really fitting right now in the age of social media. When social distancing became the norm and people began to work from home, we'd see all these posts of people saying how, I don't know, like they were learning new languages or starting new hobbies, or I saw some people repainting their bedroom. And I thought that was all so awesome. But I just want to say, you know what else is awesome? Sitting in your PJs all day watching Netflix. I don't want anyone to feel like what they're doing is the wrong way to self isolate, unless you're literally going against the self isolation rules. Unless you're doing that, everyone is right. Just honor yourself and what you're feeling. So if you're feeling motivated to do everything on your list, go ham. But if the idea of doing more than just being stresses you out, then just be, and that's okay. Just stay in your lane and do what feels good for you. So that actually brings me to my next thief of joy, which is stress. Everyone says that you need to reduce your stress right now. Why? Because one, stress causes the body to release stress hormones and it raises your heart rate and blood pressure. Two, stress consumes energy and nutrients, which could otherwise be used to protect the body, like from infectious disease. Three, you can be more productive. Four, it reduces irritability, anxiety, and depression. But there's also so many other reasons why we should be reducing our stress. But we all more or less know this, right? But what is it that we can do to reduce stress now? Meditation is one. Norma just did a wonderful guided meditation on Sunday that you can use as a tool to slow down and bring awareness back to yourself. Something you can do is be mindful of the conversations that you're having. If you find yourself only talking about coronavirus and feeling really fearful and stressed, it might actually be time to set boundaries with yourself. That may mean setting boundaries with people that you know can be high stress in conversations. Maybe try talking about lighthearted topics like a show that you're currently watching or goals that you're setting. The aim is to actively change the direction of your thoughts to something that you're really excited about. So there's a method called the Choose Again method, and I learned this from Gabby Bernstein, and it has 3 steps. The first step is to notice the fearful thought. So this means to witness the fearful thoughts getting out of control. Whenever those thoughts are looping in your mind, acknowledge them. Actually, Norma spoke to this on Sunday. Don't put any judgment on them. Just think, yep, that's a thought, that's there. Of course it's there. And then think to where it is in your body. So for me, stressful thoughts manifest in my chest and my breath. So the first thing I do is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. It's from Andrew Weil. And that's just in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. And you do that for 2 to 3 times. Actually, Alina just did this last week in her workout. So think about where you hold your stress. Is it in your shoulders, your jaw? Think about that area, and when you're breathing, just breathe into that area. So the next step is to forgive the thought. So just don't be hard on yourself, really. You want to forgive yourself for being hooked on these obsessive ideas that don't serve you. And it can literally be as simple as saying, I forgive these thoughts. Then the final step is to proactively choose a better feeling thought. So this is where you get to choose again. If you notice your thought pathway went some way like, I'm going to get sick, maybe a new thought can be, I'm taking the proper precautions. The point is to reframe the thought as something that feels better. It's not lying to yourself. It's just acknowledging what you have and what you're doing so that not everything will turn into a worst case scenario. Media consumption can be a thief of joy. It can be. Jonathan actually spoke to this in his live yesterday, but I do think it's worth repeating. Be conscious to the media that you're consuming. If you're running the news all day, pay attention to how it's making you feel. If it's stressing you out, turn it off. We obviously still want to be informed. So I think what I recommend is to very specifically choose one media outlet to spend about half an hour being updated, and that's it for the day. The news nowadays, I mean, honestly, it's written to suck you in and scare you. It's breaking news all the time and high negativity. And by allowing that to be on all day, you're allowing that negativity to consume you, and you're not giving yourself a chance to really have a different perception of your reality. Even social media, although can be amazing during times like these, can also be an echo chamber of fear. There are actually apps that you can put a time limit on your media consumption, and that can be a great way to remind you not to push the boundaries that you set for yourself. So now I want to speak to ways that we can find joy right now. First, I know this is a repeat, but just make sure to get outside, get some sun. The stay inside order says non-essential travel, but it does explicitly say that going outside in your neighborhood is perfectly fine and recommended. So just when you do go out, try and make sure that you're not going to the popular areas. Being around crowds right now can be anxiety inducing. So, and also, against the rules. So stick to the smaller trails and your local streets. I know that we're all stressed right now about food. Finding groceries can be really difficult right now, but what I'd like for us to do is kind of reframe it as a challenge. If you can't find any rice or quinoa, maybe it's a really great time to experiment with unfamiliar grains like millet and kasha. If you don't have any spinach or broccoli or other things that you usually use, maybe find collards and Romanesco and look up some recipes. Right now, we're really struggling with finding chicken and eggs. So we've been using a lot of beans and legumes, some good vegan proteins. Another thing to do is just take advantage of everyone being home. Have everyone participate in the cooking. It can be a lot of fun. Have the kids mixing or your partner chopping, or even just maybe putting up FaceTime and cooking with your friends who are elsewhere. Just bring a bit of fun back into the kitchen. Now, this one's an obvious, and we've done some really great things. Irina has done some really great things recently with doing the Zoom, but don't stop socializing. So social distancing does not mean social isolation. So if you normally have coffee with friends, keep scheduling it and meet through FaceTime or this house party, and just meet up with your favorite drink and chat. Something I saw someone do recently actually was a conference call with friends, and they followed a Bob Ross tutorial. And I love this because it's such a fun way to be social and be creative and just to be actively doing something together, and that can make you feel more connected to one another. Another thing that's kind of obvious, turn on some music. For me, nothing gives more of a boost to my well-being and everything that some of my favorite feel-good songs do. So if you're feeling like the house is a little bit too quiet or you've got the news going on nonstop, turn off the news, turn on some music. If you're spiraling into negative thoughts, just throw on a great song and just sing and dance, get loose, start moving. My personal favorites at the moment are Lizzo's Feeling Good as Hell, along with everyone else, but also Send Me On My Way from Rusted Root. Even just finding an upbeat playlist can help loosen you up and make you feel more upbeat. So set a goal that falls in line with your passion, with what you're passionate about. When you begin to make action steps towards that goal, no matter how small it is, it can create a sense of accomplishment and excitement towards that final goal. Now, this is something that I love to do personally outside of this pandemic, is just take time to savor everything. When you eat a meal, don't have your phone out. Just sit there and enjoy and savor each bite. When you're out walking, look around, pay attention, feel the sun and the breeze, maybe smell the new spring smells. When you take time to savor moments in your day, you really ground yourself in the present moment and can allow yourself to appreciate what you do have around you. Then Then the final thing that I would say is at the end of the day, list out 3 good things that happened. When we focus on the good and bring them acknowledgement, it opens us up more to good experiences that we can be grateful for. So at the end of the day, these are all just suggestions that have helped me. But what I really do want to impress on you is to focus on the good, because there is good. The time that we've been given to reflect on our priorities, to nurture our homes, to connect with our loved ones, that's a gift. And there's so much that is out of our control right now. And to put our energy into that, just it won't serve us in the long run. So focus on caring and nurturing the things that are in your control, and just take it one day at a time and really embrace the things that we do have and the time that we've been given. So I hope that this gave you some ideas on how to find joy while in isolation. Just leave a comment about what you're doing to bring more joy to your life, or any questions that you might have. And yeah, thank you very much for having me here. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. See you guys. I actually don't. Oh, there it is. See ya.